Okay guys, we're back out here. I want to check the clearance I have between the gear installed. This is the old gear. The gear installed and the end of the housing. Okay. So if you feel it, whoops, the gear is definitely a little more proud than the gasket that's on here right now. One thing you do have to know if you're doing one of these pumps is these gears wear. The edges get kind of crappy. Okay, you will get some lines in the cover. I put the new gears in the pump and spin them up dry and try and spread them apart just a little bit in the bore, just so it can clean up the high spots that have developed. Then I re-clean everything, or else what's going to happen is when you assemble it, it's going to wind up doing the same thing as the gears spread a little bit, and it's going to pump it through your engine. And usually what happens is the oil bypass that controls your oil pressure will stick. So you get it up to higher RPM, it'll come out, it'll bind in the bore and just stay there. So, like I said, I want to measure this one up. See, there's very fine scratches in here. I'm going to put a little 320 scratch on this crosshatch. Okay, you don't leave it smooth like this because the 320 crosshatch will actually hold oil so it can slide back and forth. Smooth, it won't. So, with that said, I'm going to install the new gears in here and just give it a quick check with this gasket real quick just to see what reading we have, even though I have a new gasket. So, okay, we got the new gears in. Old gasket still on. I torqued down the plate with some plastic gauge, and we have, I don't think it's going to focus in, this is 2000, 3000, it's 2 to 6. And when you put it across there, it lands on 4. I call that good because they're looking for 2 to 6. So with the old gasket, we're doing good. A lot of times you do this, it won't even crush the stuff down. So with that, I am gonna remove this gasket. I don't like to crush gaskets more than once, especially something that's gonna hold almost 100 pounds behind it. I am gonna mic up this gasket and see what I got and see how much thicker the other one is, because there's a standard gasket, then there's a custom made gasket, so this should be the standard stuff. I'm wondering if this pump was done once before, because I do see some fine lines right here. So someone might have cleaned this off with like a razor blade. So with that said, someone might have done this pump already. Well, I'm sure they did at one point. I might throw it on the table and just give it a very quick hold, so I have an awesome surface for it to seal on. And then with that, I'm not going to put the gears back in because it's going to be full of sand. I do like the side clearance. I do like my reading here. I'm not going to take much off, just a quick clean. And we'll see what we have. Oh, and happy holiday to anybody that it applies to today. I know it is a special holiday. There you go. That's nice. I wish gaskets always came off like that. And, okay, so basically gave it a quick clean. I gave it a couple of twirls on the coarse and a couple of twirls on the fine. I didn't really want to take much off. I didn't really want to take anything off. Just wanted to flatten it the best I could. Now this thing has to be scrubbed clean. We got most of the dirt off, but as you can see, there's still more in there. That's just oil from laying stuff in there while it was in the shed. So we're good to go. I'm happy with the housing. Gotta make sure this dowel is good. It looks a little funny. And make sure, very, 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 very important. 2 very important things on an AMC: that dowel and the gasket surface right there. If you leave no gasket on there or 2 gaskets on there, you have an interference problem with the gears, and it'll start to waste them. So that's why you stick with the original cover, and it is the original cover dated 1985. So like I said, now it just needs a full cleaning. We got the majority of the junk off. Oh, I gotta finish taking off the epoxy right here. I don't know if you guys can see the epoxy all over it. Right here. These shafts seep. It's actually a pressed fit, but it does seep up and come around. So we gotta chip off all the epoxy. And after this cover is fully clean, I'll give it a quick scuffing. Probably with something like 220. Get this whole top area, you know, up the side a little bit and down the edge. And on the shaft, and we'll JB weld it to limit the seepage. My wagon seeps from there. I never epoxied it. Nothing major, but you look down, you do see the dampness there. So some leak worse than others. Some as it's running, you just see it come out. So the aftermarket covers seem to be notorious for that. So, well, another piece of the puzzle. The cam bearing should be here tomorrow. Today is Monday. I'm predicting Wednesday for the cam bearing installer tool. So I'm going to let Junior go at it with the spare block to pop out the old cam bearings so we can learn how to do it without nicking the journals. Then he'll move on to the main motor and pop them out. We'll give that thing a finished cleaning. I got a little etch primer for it. He's going to paint it. He reminded me that he's painting everything, which is the way it should be. And like I said, we got to give that, I keep calling it a hone, but it's actually a glaze busting. You'll be satisfied with the way the pistons fit in this motor. Basically, you're breaking the glaze. You're putting the crosshatch in there so the rings could seat and also hold oil, keep the pistons lubricated. So, there was still slight remnants of crosshatch in there. It's amazing on the imports. I've seen them with 300,000 miles still have a perfect crosshatch, and the cranks look brand new without a scuff in them. So something's different. But like I say to all my friends, oil has changed a lot over the years. You wonder how long one of these engines would have lasted with modern day oil in it. So with that said, I'm going to chip this off all around here, and that'll be it for this installment on this thing. And like I said, I will look into that dowel. And that's it, guys.